it's Dale here. Just following on from last week where I showed you we did some rubbing with wax papers and with wax crayons or I used my oil pastels and through stencils and with stamps that I had, and then I washed them over with Kohinoor watercolour, and I did say you could use anything, and I thought I'd just show you how I might put this together. So I've got a piece of watercolour paper. It's not always just paint it all up with glue. Now this is for a paper side, but for your summer thingy, but fabrics, of course, that's another issue. We can get to that another day. And then I'll just tear up the bits that I might want. Now that's where I did a rubbing. That's the side I did the rubbing from the stencil I had. You of course can cut a stencil from anything that you've got to use, but the other side's quite good because it's quite much lighter. So we'll just put it down and doing our little, I'll just tear them up and put things down how I feel. And because it's tissue text, it's transparent, so it will layer over top. And I meant to say the other day that if you've got old patterns, you know, the tissue patterns, they're fabulous for using for anything that because you can colour them and add them in anywhere. So take some of these ones that I had done a bit of writing on, because the writing in the end is a non-event. It's just there for markings. You're not trying to be specific. You know, you can see that the Kohinoors, they're not too bad in keeping their shapes. And you're going to end up with a background like this, which you can stitch onto and add whatever it is you're going to do, whether you add a V-dub or beach huts or umbrellas and deck chairs, anything that might remind you of your summer holiday that you had. And I put a little bit of a pale one that I've got here. And if we go down here, you can see that when I've done it each time it's been a little bit different. This has got a lot more blue in it than maybe, or green I mean, than maybe you might want. So I'll just do a little bit more here. And it's a little bit of a mess here, so here we go. So you're putting the medium on the top, underneath and on the top. And when it dries, it's quite okay for stitching. You've got some of those marks that you made. And then if you remember, I did this one here with the shapes. I could have used something like an old serviette. The thing about it all is it makes it very much you and not anything commercial. So we just keep going here. Put together my and then now this might be a beach by the rocks rather than the sandy sea like we have down here, because it's a bit darker. Just something in it affects how you end up at the end of the day. Now, in case anyone's worried, because someone asked me, I machine stitch through these, not a problem. I just use a top stitch needle always, and it's never a problem. So I'll stitch it all up. So and of course you could have used your micro pen and write on this, but I'll show you. I'm just doing this fairly quickly here so that you can really pottering along, but and oh, I don't like that one there very much. I'll just take a tiny bit there. Got myself in a bit of a mess here now. And then if, for example, you wanted to do something like add some words, then I've got this serviette that I've picked up, packets of them, and I would just tear that up, take all the other layers off, which is what I've done here. If you have a look, you'll see it's just what was on my serviette. I tore it off to the top layer and then glued it down as well. So that's my little piece that's all ready to become a stitched piece. And once you start to put some stitch on, this is machine stitching, you've got it like this. It's a bit heavy going to hand stitch onto, but that's a fabric collage, a paper collage. How easy could that be? It's just from some of the papers that you've made, whatever way you've coloured them. So I hope that's been a little bit useful as I potted along with that. I'll see you again next time. Bye.